Hey, it's Phil Thatch, and this morning I'm here at Sitton's Gulch. This is a place that I learned about from my good buddy David Sailors, and the last time I came here the color was all green and the water was all not flowing, but today the water's flowing pretty good, and so I'm going to hike it. I guess I'm going to hike it by myself. I don't know.
All right, now today when we get done with the video, we're going to go back and talk about the...
There goes David Sailors.
That looks like a knock-on camera.
That's one of them fancy knock-ons.
Oh, there, you're all in camo. I didn't see you.
I'm disguised as a tree.
So how you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing real good.
Hey, how about we hike together?
Good plan.
Let's do that.
Let's do it. This is going to be awesome. Woohoo! All right, check this out. David and I are making our way up the trail. Last time I was here, this area was just barely a trickle. As we hiked our way to the big waterfalls, we made several handheld photographs, including this 1/8 of a second shot of Sitton's Gulch. This is cropped, kind of looks like a panorama, but it's not. It's a single shot. And here's some beautiful mushrooms. I thought the light was really cool on these as they were growing on the side of this fallen tree. And this next shot is of a Blue Ridge two-lined salamander. It was really, really hard to get a photograph of this little guy. He was really quick and squiggly, but I did manage to get one or two photographs of him in focus. And here we are high up on the trail looking down at Sitton's Gulch. Look at all the beautiful fall color and the beautiful creek below in this handheld 1/4 of a second photograph. Well, David and I are still hiking our way in, and as we hike, I've been making some photographs of this, that, and the other thing. Just handheld. I stopped at the place where I made a panorama last time with the XT3 and tried to make a handheld. I don't know if it's going to come out, but I attempted it. And we passed a hiker who was coming out, and she told us that the place where you have to cross some water on the trail was flooded and we're going to have to rock hop. So that's a little foreshadowing for you of the future of this adventure. Oh, look, Douglas fir. Here is the panorama shot of the trail. I really like this section of the trail. I thought this particular section was more photogenic when all the leaves were green than it was in this fall photograph, but I still like it. Some more views along the trail. Here's another shot looking down at the creek from high above on the trail. Look at all the beautiful greens and oranges and yellows and reds as we hiked our way in. And I love to make photographs of roads or trails as they bend. I love the leading lines that presents. And today was really special to have all this beautiful color along with these regular Phil Thatch style leading line trail photos. And also I really like all these rocks with the lichens growing on them here, or boulders I guess, along the Sitton's Gulch trail. Took a few minutes here to make a photograph of this, and look where I'm having to stand to make the photo. I'm kind of close to this boulder here, but it's pretty. David made a shot from about here, and he made another shot from back there, and I made a photo of him while he was making that photo. So here's that photo that I made of David, and there he is using the Nikon Z6 and the 24-70 f4 S-line lens, the kit lens with the Z6. Boy, that thing's so much lighter than the lens I was carrying. And here I made 3 handheld shots of this section of the creek while I was standing by that big rock that I showed you in the previous clip. The first one was vertical and I cropped it to square, and then this one's horizontal at 32 millimeters. You can see I was using the low extended ISO 50 for these. And the next shot is a little wider, 24 millimeters, and you can see more of the valley instead of just the creek in this shot. So I don't know which one is the best. Maybe you can tell me which one you like the best. And then David started vlogging right by the giant rock that I stood in front of when I made those photos, and he saw me taking his picture, so next thing you know he's pointing his vlogging camera at me. So that was fun. All right, David has educated me some. This is really his area. Right here, this creek is Daniel Creek, and right there's the confluence of the two creeks, and as it goes downstream, that is Sitton's Gulch, and the other creek, which you may or may not be able to see coming in right there at that confluence, is Bear Creek. So Thanks for the awesome information, Mr. Sailors.
Best I can do.
I walked out a little ways onto that log. There was still a good place to put my foot. Where the bark is torn off, I could wedge my foot right there, but I walked out a little ways to make a photograph of that beautiful area right there. So here's that photograph that I made while I was standing on the log. I really liked the orange and yellow trees that were hanging over the creek, and I couldn't get the spill in the shot until I went out on that log, so that worked out nice. And then here is another Leading Lines trail photograph. That huge tree on the left had lots of carvings, and right after I got done making this shot, David made a close-up shot of some of the carvings, so that may be in his video. Here's another spot that we made a photograph of right through all these foreground branches and stuff, so we'll see how that turns out. So we were just kind of documenting what we saw along the hike with these handheld shots. You know, we weren't tripoding up and trying to win any photography contests, but I really think the photos came out nice, even without a tripod. Okay, so I'm concentrating on this water down here, and David over here figures out that maybe we should look up. So look at this. It's overcast today and it's a little bit foggy, so look at the fog up there at the top of the mountain. All right, well, this is the place where people we're seeing on the trail say we're going to have to rock hop to get back. David is surveying the depth for me. Now David is David's very sure-footed, much more so than I am. I think I'm going to make it. Well, that was easy. Thanks, David.
Yeah.
We've made it to the spot where I took my favorite waterfall picture from last time. Last time it was just a trickle, now it is blasting. And the trail's just right there, and you can see the beginning of the steps right there, and there's the bridge that goes across the steps that we'll be at pretty soon. This is the first time I've stopped and actually gotten my tripod out. And David's got a whole different composition from what I've been working on and what I'm planning on working on, so that's cool. We'll have unique shots. Okay, so once again, I'm making a shot from pretty much this exact spot. I'm at 24 millimeters, and last time I was at 18 on APS-C, so I've got a little bit wider shot here, and this curtain right here that was just barely a trickle last time is huge. The tree going across here is still here, and I've learned to embrace it. Now there's fall color up here in the mountains, and last time there was a little bit of a waterfall right here. Now it's huge, and there's even another one on the other side of that tree. And also up there in the top of the shot is the bridge that goes across this creek, which is Daniel Creek. Also, I put a circular polarizer on for this, and now I'm going to turn it and dial it in. With that polarizer, you can really get everything rich. Kind of like that right there. This adds a lot of contrast and richens up the colors. Okay, so here is this shot, and again, this is the same composition that I used back in August the 27th. What a difference it makes coming on November the 12th with the fall color, and after it had rained quite a bit the day before. So the waterfall was going good and the color was going good, and really loved this shot. I love the leaves all over the rocks and all the beautiful colors, and the polarizer helps it too. Okay, I'm trying another composition, and I'm being careful not to use one of David's. David shot one from way over that way and another from way over that way, so I'm trying to stay here so our shots are different. But this is pretty cool right here. It kind of has all the same information as my last shot, but from a little bit further back. Okay, so David has convinced me that, you know, I normally hate having anything resembling sky in my waterfall shots, but David has convinced me, and I think he's right, that having some of this fog that's up higher than we are in the valley in the shot is cool. So I made a couple like this as well. I do like having the fog in the top of this shot, and again, I don't normally like to have light above a waterfall if I can help it, and you can certainly help it here, but I think in this situation the light up at the top of the shot looks nice. And this further back shot, I think the tree going across in front of the waterfall is more distracting in this further back shot, but otherwise I like this further back shot better.
I don't know why Phil wanted to stand here, but it's awful light. Oh.
Hey, how you doing? I like noise in my videos. I'm weird. What can I tell you? Hey, this spot is, what'd you call it?
Absolutely stunning.
Great place to make photographs. And, you know, it's really cool because I shot from the same spot that I did last year, and I shot from kind of where the camera's shooting from now. And David shot from over there, and David shot from over there. So we've come to the exact same spot and made 4 different compositions, and none of them are the same. So make sure to also watch David's video, which I'll put a link to up here, so you can see his shots as well, because I think they're going to be awesome. And I learned something from David today that I think I mentioned in a clip earlier, or maybe I didn't. I always, when I'm making a photograph of a waterfall, I do not like any sky in my shot at all. But in this situation, up in the top of this valley, there's fog up high, what, maybe 1,000 feet above us, 800, 600? And David is liking having that fog in the top of his shot, and I tried it, and I think he's right. So
Well,
this is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Absolutely stunning. We got to tag Thomas Eaton.
Yeah, you know what? I almost wore my Thomas Eaton t-shirt this morning, but I've got Adam Gibbs instead.
Well, he's in the F64 or whatever.
Yeah, they're both F4s. They're half of the F4. They're F2.
F2.
But
shooting wide open. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let's so we got
more to see.
We got more hiking to do. Now we got to start climbing stairs.
Yeah, now it gets fun.
Whoop, whoop. Well, we made it to the bottom of the stairs. Those waterfall shots we just made were just right there. And then most of the rest of the way we're on boardwalks and stairs. And this is the end of the waterfall trail. And I guess it's the end of the Sitton's Gulch trail too. It's where they meet and terminate. I made this shot from right there at the bottom of the stairs, kind of looking through the woods into the valley where we were before we climbed back up to the trail. Okay, right down there is where we were standing. You can see the big spill kind of in the center of the frame towards the top, and I think you can see the branch going across it too. So right down there is where we were making photographs just a minute ago. And right now we're on top of the bridge that goes across Daniel Creek. There's David. He's checking out the fog up at the top of the canyon. And there's Daniel Creek. And wow, look, I think I can see a huge waterfall in the distance. I gotta get going. Okay, so we're walking along, and this, where it says main trailhead, that's where you climb up to the top of the mountain. And we are continuing towards Hemlock Falls, which you can actually see it from here. It's really cool. That's beautiful right over there. Well, that's completely awesome. I made my first shots off the platform, and David made his first shots at the bottom of the platform, and then we switched. But right here is David climbing down. I made a couple of vertical shots from up here on the observation platform, and I think they're going to be pretty nice, but I believe I'm going to have to climb down that steep, muddy hill to get some better ones. When I was here 77 days before, the waterfall was just a trickle on the left-hand side, and now it's flowing all the way across. The huge boulder in the foreground of the waterfall still looks like a rhinoceros butt to me, but it's a really beautiful area. And this is the only shot that I made from the observation platform. I made a few photos when I climbed down from the observation platform. I don't know if they're going to be as good as the ones from the observation platform. I tried to make a panorama, and of course I tried not to step on David's composition, so I didn't shoot from where he shot from. So here is the panorama that I made. I scooted pretty far forward and climbed up onto a big boulder to get this panorama, and it's 24 millimeters and 19 shots, 3 rows of photographs to get this shot. And you know, there is some sky above this waterfall, but it looks nice. You can see some fog, and there's a pretty red tree that you can barely see above the waterfall, and you can see quite a bit of the canyon, and you can see the little spill in the foreground, so I like it.
Who knows if it's any good, but now we're back on the big bridge over Daniel Creek, and you can see we're both making shots, and I guess pretty soon we're going to start hiking back, but right now it's all about video clips.
So this photograph is looking downstream. This first one is vertical, as you can see, and in this shot you can see a lot more of the valley than in the next shot looking downstream off the Daniel Creek Bridge. This one's horizontal, and it shows more detail of the waterfalls, but not as much of the valley, so that's why I shared both of those with you. And then I turned around and took this photograph looking upstream from the Daniel Creek Bridge. I'm pretty sure this is handheld. I'm not sure about the previous two, but I'm pretty sure this one was handheld. Then I switched to f2.8 and made this portrait of David with the beautiful bokeh-fied background there on the Daniel Creek Bridge. And I stayed at f2.8 and made a photograph of these leaves on the railing. I'm pretty sure David had already photographed these leaves, but I think, he didn't show me his shot, but I think he composed it pretty much a lot different. And then as we were going down the stairs, I made a photograph of this kindred spirit with his tripod on his backpack climbing up the stairs on the way to the waterfalls.
I can't stop making pictures up here. This place is completely awesome, and looks like I'm on video twice. Hello, David's channel. How y'all doing? This is awesome, and I guess we're heading out. It's very, very wobbly and slick, and yet David is still blowing past me like I'm sitting still. It's the sure-footed David sailors and the about to fall down Phil Thatch as we exit the waterfall zone. This rock is moving. Me and David are going down this escarpment. It's not too bad. Don't fall, Dave.
Just jinx me.
David taught me a new word.
Jinx?
No, not that one. Yeah, that's right. It's kind of tricky right here. It's pretty level, but the rocks are huge. Whoa! No problem. Boy, these rocks are really mossy. But this area right here has lots of pretty cool photographic opportunities, it looks like. Got a creek there, and this one over here, that's the one we just crossed. I came down here to this area below where the trail goes across the rocks, and David made some shots, and he was shooting straight across where I'm at, and when he got done, I came down here onto this rock that the camera is sitting on right now and made photographs of the side creek, whatever it's called, that goes up to where people walk across directly behind me, and made a few photos with the polarizer and the 24-70, and I made some slow motion video from here, both of this direction and right here up close, and there's another spill over here behind the camera, so lots of fun from this area.
I'm really pleased with the way this photograph came out, and I'm glad that David and I took the time to climb down the escarpment to get to this beautiful side creek. This is the one that we had crossed and rock hopped to get across up the top of the hill there on the trail, and just really pretty as it bounces its way down the hill there with all the beautiful colors and the leaves. Really happy to get this shot.
Well, we're slowly but surely starting to walk our way out of here. What a day we've had. We've had a lot of fun telling stories and talking about camera gear and and photography and just all sorts of cool stuff. And gosh, there's still tons of photo opportunities, but I don't know about David, but I'm pretty worn out and might be ready to just hike for a while. But you never know, we might stop and take some more pictures. I found another spot where I just had to make a photograph. All these big trees kind of moving at weird angles, and that really interesting tree curving up as it goes. Pretty good color. Still have the polarizer on and still shooting with the lens I've been shooting with all day. This is exactly the same composition you're seeing now in the video that you'll see in the photo.
I made a few photos like this one along the trail on the way back to the trailhead, and it was really beautiful, and I thought it was worth documenting a few of these locations.
Got another one. This trail is really scenic. You know, I took a lot of photographs on this trail when I was here last time, and they were okay when it was green, but with leaves on the trail and they're wet and you got a polarizer so you can darken them, and there's beautiful color. David likes red leaves better and I like yellow leaves better, and that's why I stopped at this spot, because there's a lot of yellow in this.
Look at all those yellow leaves. I just love the beautiful yellow mixed with the green, and then the brown leaves on the trail and the beautiful boulder on the left.
Found another composition. We're almost back to the parking lot now. It's pretty much flat. I mean, there's still a little bit of hill to it, but it's pretty much flat down here in the valley. And these beautiful trees have some interesting moss growing on them. And I like the way the light is filtering down through the trees here in the valley, so I made a shot here, F11.
This is probably my least favorite photograph during this particular section of the video, but there's still some pretty great moss going on, and look at those beautiful yellow leaves throughout the forest.
This spot was pretty cool too. This is another shot from kind of in the valley. Just doing a lot of F11 circular polarizer shots and letting the shutter speed land where it needs to land to have the exposure right at 100 ISO.
This one is probably my favorite of this section of the video. Lots more yellow and that huge tree with the beautiful moss on it. And there's even some yellow leaves on the trail. And then I didn't document this one with a video clip, but you know what I did. The same thing as I did for the other ones. And this one came out nice too. I like the little boulder in the foreground on the left.
Well, we made it all the way back to the trailhead. It was a great hike. The weather was, you know, what day is this? November the 12th or 13th?
The 12th.
November 12th, and it was shorts weather. Perfectly cool. Last time I hiked this, it was hot. Hot. So great day. It was great to have David along. I really didn't think he was going to be able to go, but I said, hey, David, can you go to Sitton's Gulch? And here he is. So he could go. And the leaves were just right. The water flow was just right. We had a pretty good bit of rain yesterday, but not too much. So a lot better trip to Sitton's Gulch this time than last time. I had a good day with the Nikon Z6 and the 24-70 f2.8G.
Look at the color in the background.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, even right here at the trailhead, it's beautiful.
It's just crazy how colorful it is today.
A good day. So we were doing some David Saylor style Geico tapping. We got our camera out and took a picture. And we appreciate you watching. If you like the content, a thumbs up is always appreciated. Maybe
subscribe, it's right down there.
Maybe subscribe and hit the bell. And make sure and watch David's video from today and watch all of David's videos. His channel is really cool. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.
See you later.